This is Chapter 12, Creating Financial Reports. In this chapter, you will learn how to generate and interpret the income statement, the balance sheet report, the statement of cash flows, and management reports. So we have our luxury lodging company file open. And first we'll see how to generate and interpret the income statement. The income statement, also known as the profit and loss statement, or P&L, is one of three key reports that you can run to get an idea of how your business is doing overall. The report lists all income-generated activities, followed by expenses for a specified time period. The difference between total income and total expenses is the net profit or net loss for the business. Depending on the type of business, QuickBooks provides several iterations of the profit and loss statement. For example, businesses like luxury lodging can generate a profit and loss by guest report and a profit and loss by property report. These type of reports can help business owners like Larry make strategic decisions about their businesses. We will cover how to generate each of these reports in this section. So we're going to start by clicking on Reports to enter our Report Center. And in this chapter, we'll be looking at the reports in the Business Overview section. The Business Overview report group includes 8 profit and loss reports, profit and loss as percentage of total income, profit and loss comparison, profit and loss detail, profit and loss year-to-date comparison, profit and loss by guest, profit and loss by month, profit and loss by property, and profit and loss. We will cover the profit and loss, profit and loss by guest, and profit and loss by property reports. So first we're going to take a look at the profit and loss. So we're going to click on that to run this report. And from our date toolbar up at the top, we want to make sure that we change this to all dates. So that's very important, because if you don't change the date range, then your figures might not be correct. So the total income we can see is $36,125, and then the total expenses is $17,395. The difference is a net income profit of $18,730. So this is good for luxury lodging. Let's dig into more detail of income, expenses, and the net income amounts. We will generate a profit and loss by property next. So we're going to go back to our report center and make sure all of your figures align with the textbook before you move on to any other steps. So this time we're going to select profit and loss by property. Again, from your date range menu, you want to select all dates. And you can see that this one breaks down through your properties: California, Texas, and not specified. So this report shows total income, expenses, and net income by property. With a net income of $13,850, the Texas properties have yielded a higher net income than the California properties, which have a net income of $5,700. The good news is that both properties have been profitable for the year so far. There is an unspecified column with a total of negative $820. If you recall in a previous chapter, unspecified means that no property was assigned to the transactions listed in this column. There may be certain expenses that you do not want to post to a specific property, like overhead expenses. If that is the case, it is perfectly fine to leave them in the unspecified column. Expenses for car and truck, meals and entertainment, office supplies, and travel all fall under the overhead category and will remain as unspecified. So next we're going to generate a profit and loss by guest. We'll go back to our report center and this time select profit and loss by guest. Again, change your date range to all dates. And you can see across the top, this is broken up by Astro, Elroy, George, Jane, Judy, and also a not specified column. So the profit and loss by guest report provides a breakdown of total income by guest or customer. Based on the info shown in this report, the top 3 guests for luxury lodging are George Jetson with a total income of $12,500, Jane Jetson with a total income of $9,750, and then Astro Jetson with a $7,525 in total income. Since Judy and Elroy are generating the least amount of income, Larry could provide these customers with an incentive to book a reservation at one of his properties. This could be in the form of a discount or even a stay for 5 nights, get the 6th night free type of promo. Reviewing these reports is crucial to help business owners like Larry gain insight into how their business is doing, as well as allow them to strategize various ways to increase the bottom line. The next report that we're going to run is our balance sheet report. So we're going to go back to our report center, and here we have our balance sheet. So the balance sheet report is another key report that provides key insights into the overall health of a business. It includes total assets, liabilities, and owner's equity for the business as of a point in time. If you recall in the Accounting Basics chapter, we discussed what each of these terms mean. Go back to this chapter to review them if needed. Similar to the profit and loss report, there are several balance sheet reports available in QuickBooks: balance sheet comparison report, balance sheet detail report, balance sheet summary report, and balance sheet report. So with this run, again, we want to change our date range to all dates and run that again. So luxury lodging has assets totaling $20,200, and then total liabilities totaling $1,470, and then total equity totaling $18,730. The amount in assets is higher than the amount owed to creditors and suppliers, which is ideal. If possible, businesses should own more than what they owe. Next, we're going to be taking a look at the cash flow statement. Again, return to your report center. And here we have the statement of cash flows. The statement of cash flows report shows incoming and outgoing cash flow of your business over a period of time. Cash flow is grouped into 3 categories: operating, investing, and financing activities. Unlike the profit and loss and the balance sheet report, there is only one statement of cash flows report in QuickBooks. So again, we want to change this to all dates. And based on the information in our report, the cash inflow and outflow has been generated by operating activities. There are no investing or financing activities listed on the report. The net cash increase for the period is $17,200, which leaves a cash balance of $17,200. All right, so again, make sure that all your figures are matching up with what is shown here. Next, how to generate management reports. The report center is comprised of three main report types. So if we go to reports, our report center, you could see up at the top here in this secondary menu, we have standard reports, custom reports, and we also have management reports. Standard reports are those reports that we have created through this course. So those are all these reports that are listed in this report center. So things like the accounts payable aging, accounts receivable aging, profit and loss. So all of those are standard reports. Customized reports are those reports you customize and save to use later on. And then your management reports include key financial reports you should run once your books have been closed. They can be shared with stakeholders within and outside of the business. So if we click on management reports, you should get 3 management reports listed. And these are going to be company overview, sales performance, and expenses performance. The company overview financial package includes the profit and loss and the balance sheet report. The sales performance package includes the profit and loss, accounts receivable aging detail, and the sales by customer summary report. And then the expenses summary package includes the profit and loss, the accounts payable aging detail, and then the expenses by vendor summary report. So first we're going to take a look at our company overview. Now the book says to keep this at this year. We need to switch it to all dates because we are so, far past from when the book was actually written and the dates that we put in for our transactions. So make sure that you do change that to all dates. And then you can click your preview button here. So this is going to show you a preview of the reporting package, and it displays a title page, table of contents, and the 2 financial reports. So here's our title page. You can scroll down. We get our table of contents. Profit and loss and balance sheet are going to be in this particular management report. And then it will show you the profit and loss and then the balance sheet. So from here you can download and save these reports to your computer as a PDF document, or you can print a hard copy. After you close the books and need to present your financials to investors or your financial institution, this reporting package is ideal. If you need to also show accounts receivable and accounts payable details, you should generate the sales and expense performance packages. So we can do the same for sales performance. We would change to all dates and preview that. Again, you get your title page, Table of contents. So the sales performance shows the profit and loss, and the accounts receivable aging detail report, and also the sales by guest summary report. So QuickBooks will automatically compile these different management reports after you close your books. Expenses performance, change to all dates in preview. You get your title page, table of contents. So this one includes profit and loss, accounts payable aging detail, and then expenses by vendor summary. Next to the preview link for each report, you have a drop down, and you can actually edit these reports. You can change your logo on your report. You can change the name of your cover title. So instead of the generic management report, you could have, the specific report name. So this one would be expenses performance. The company name you could have on there as well. So all important information that you would want to include. The report period, prepared by, so anything that you would want on that cover page. And then you could save that and then print the updated one from your download screen here. All right, so your next video will be the practice exercises for Chapter 12.